Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Jaqson Johnson Lynch. This is going to be a weird one for me because I'm usually every so often sharing bits and pieces around my son Jackson, especially being a proud daddy and everything, all like that kind of stuff. But this time I decided, on a whim, to have him come into the studio and let you actually experience the young man that I've always known was destined for greatness. So right now I'm joined here with my son Jaqson Johnson Lynch. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. I was a little bit confused why you decided to send me here in a trash can. But you know what? It's fine. I enjoy the free service.
The free service?
Yeah.
What do you mean free service?
Well, you sent me here. You sent me here via trash can, didn't you?
I did? What do you mean by that? Are you like Oscar the Grouch or something? What you mean?
So anyway, I'm here.
This is how it's going to go. I don't have a clue. I'm totally unawares. But either way is that, as you could tell, like, we used to do early podcasts together. Like, you would come on every so often, wouldn't you? And everything like that when we were in the other studios. And I just remember this one particular podcast where it's like, we were doing like a panel on movies and everything like that. And the first thing that came out of your mouth is, I'm being kidnapped.
No, I said I was being held hostage.
Being held hostage.
Yeah.
And everything. And everybody just burst down laughing because, first of all, it was like, wait a minute, Jaqson speaks. But the other one was, what is he saying? You know what I mean? Like, and it's been like that for a while.
I disagree with the whole. I disagree with the whole Jaqson speaks.
Why do you disagree with that? Because it's true.
It's not. I'm a talkative person. I'm the talk of the town.
You the talk of the town?
Yeah, I'm the talking guy. That's called People often call me Chatterbox Jackson. People often call me they call me Chatterbox Jackson.
I wonder which people are these, and everything. 'Cause, yeah, all right, count them on your fingers, and you will stop at 5. But well, the reason why we say this is because it's like there was a time where you didn't really communicate a lot, weren't there?
Yeah, we're all fetuses at one point.
Fetuses that go to school and everything like that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
listen, man. This is real talk, father to son. Son to the world. This is real talk. There was a time where you didn't like communicate.
Yeah. All right. I'll be serious. I'll take this seriously.
Me too.
All right. Yes, I was a very extroverted person.
Introverted.
Oh yeah, introvert. I was a very introverted person. It's a verbal typo. Typo.
Yeah, exactly. I love that I'm able to correct you because I'm pretty sure you'll correct me on many of things as we go along.
If it's flat.
First of all, we're not going there.
Real linguist fake. He thinks
we're not going there. And everything like that. We're not going there. Only reason why I wanted to talk about it because, like I said, I often share about it. Because I like to, have real conversations around mental health and everything because I think that they're helpful for other people and everything like that. And because you even educated me around the word asperger's today, which I didn't know about, and stuff. So you've been on the autistic spectrum, and you've always been public about that. You even added it to your comedy, which we're also going to talk about. But in that aspect is that there was a time where you couldn't, I think they would call it like self-mutism or something like that, like
selective mutism.
Selective mutism, yeah.
Selective mutism.
That's what I just said. Selective mutism, yeah. And then
wait. Say it again.
Selective mutism.
All right, say it again, but properly.
Okay, I just did. What? Selective mutism.
Close enough. We'll get there.
Thank you. So I told you you're gonna correct me. I don't know what's that all about. But either way, you found it difficult, even though you wanted to talk. but you found it difficult. Wasn't that true?
Is this an interrogation?
Not an
Wow,
interrogation. It's an honest talk.
it's an Okay. Yeah, I wanted to talk. I didn't talk.
Yeah.
Next question.
So then suddenly, you decided to take a drama course with 20 Stories High and everything like that. Because from my perspective, that's when you started to kind of like break out of this, wall of communication. So you're looking like I'm wrong, but
No, well, no. I mean, you're right,
oh my
but like,
God, did he just say I was right?
but 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 basically, there's a whole timeline of events. I'm not gonna go into it today. But there's a whole timeline of events where I went to different drama groups, and then it stopped in 2016 of the summer. But then, in September 2021, I decided to join the 20 Stories High Youth Theatre, and that was when things started to change a little bit.
Yeah,
See?
for the better.
Yeah, dramatic hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Change.
For the better, when you say it's like, well, what did you think it was? Confidence building, or what do you think it was?
Yeah, it was like confidence building, um, learning information, learning how to write poetry. I do a lot of I do spoken word poetry sometimes. I don't like rhyming though,
No.
so it's so oftentimes people will come up to me and say, "Oh, hey Jackson, that was a good monologue." It's not a monologue, you dipshit. It's a it's a
So I think we're about 5 minutes in, so I think you could get away with that one.
oh
But it is unexpected.
you can't swear.
He's not at the beginning of the podcast, but I mean, like I said,
Oh, it's been 5 minutes.
whatever. Anyway,
All right.
you were saying,
Oh yes. Well, yeah. So yeah, I learned how to do spoken word. There were different courses within 20 Stories High Youth Theatre. So there was an actors training program where that was when it was around this time last year. And it was when I learned how to do stand-up comedy, kind of like self-taught. It was also in like 2023 and 2022 was when I was starting to make more, I guess, YouTube videos. Just kind of like very short YouTube videos on like a random topic,
right?
like Scottish water.
What about it?
Scottish water is terrible. I don't like it.
Right, yeah.
Like people often think like, well, there's no difference between Scottish water and regular water, but it is. Yeah, I found out one time I was at the train station, and yeah, one time I was at a train station and I had like a bottle of water and I was like I was like sitting on a chair and I was drinking it and I was like, ah, it tastes terrible. And then I look at the label and it said Scottish water. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Okay. So, what also too is that so you mentioned that you started to do comedy, and I agree. You were always naturally funny, and everything else like that. But to do comedy for an audience of strangers is a really daunting thing. So when did you decide that you wanted to do that?
Um, it was just a matter of during the actors training program in the scratch night, um it was like we could do whatever we wanted to do. I had an idea of doing like kind of like doing like an improv sketch with two other people from the course. Those we had set up like a rehearsal day and one whatever, and then so we set it up. Well, I set it up, and then on that day, those two people didn't show up. They completely bailed. They bailed for the rest of the 10-week course Like it was like 6 weeks after the course, so they bailed. So it's kind of left on my own at the last minute, and I was
Wow.
like, and then I was like, well, I need to do something for this scratch night. And so then my mum was like, you should do stand up comedy. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. It's like it's I don't know how to write it. So I ended up writing it. I had an idea where there's a lot of comedians. They talk about like a lot of comedians will talk about like groups of minorities in kind of like a negative way,
Mm.
and they use it, and then they justify doing it by challenging them. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a concept and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this concept, but more so parodying the the phobes. So my one was about I did a thing I did a 2 minute thing about transphobia, and I was like, all right, well, I'll kind of like satirically kind of mock the general kind of transphobes, because I see loads of like discussions on that online,
Hmm.
and then yeah, um
Yeah.
that was it for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I liked. Is like you always was like, standing up for, I guess you could just say, human rights in a lot of various different ways, and everything. But what I also thought was interesting is how you've taken something, I mean, that is natural to yourself, or something that you're naturally dealing with, which would be kind of like, the autistic spectrum, and you started to write comedy around that, and everything, and where it's like you made that a part of your, repertoire, didn't you?
I guess I did.
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you did. I mean, I think there was even a time when you went out and researched another comic that was doing it, like, and you went and saw a show.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Joe Wells.
yeah,
Because I got recommended to see him. I did. I went to Birmingham with my friend Benjamin and my mum, and when we saw him, and it was great. Um,
I mean, it's good to see, like, oh, how somebody else tackled that subject, isn't it?
yeah. Well, yeah, it was interesting. He was mainly speaking, like, I mean, obviously, like, you'd always speak from your own perspective
Yeah.
of like whatever. And like with me, like with autism, I did a lot of videos based on based on being autistic or whatever. Just kind of like debunking or just talking about elements just from my perspective. They weren't really research topics. It was more so like it was just talking about kind of myself, but in a way of like addressing the concept of autism, I guess.
It's kind of like having the conversation. I mean, because because you have your own YouTube channel, the Gladiator channel, which we'll put like under your and stuff, the name of it and stuff. But I mean, you would early on you would make little videos around it, wouldn't you? So, like because you know, I mean, you didn't mention really about your writing skills. Like you wrote a lot of stories, created a lot of characters very early on in life. To the point where when you moved to YouTube, you started making little videos. So some of
Yeah.
these you could consider them like autism videos and stuff like that. And what you wanted to do was get the message out, wasn't it? From your perspective.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like an idea. It was just like, oh well, like I'm running out of ideas. I'm running out of like video ideas, so I figured like why not just talk about that? Because I got inspired because in like 2021 I was watching all of these other creators, all these other like autistic creators talking about autism, and I was like, and then I was able to learn a bit of myself from that. And I was like, okay, well I want to do the same thing, but in my own words, and it was just kind of that basically.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, so would you say it's not unique, but there are other people in the space talking about it, but
Yeah.
you're taking your perspective and doing
Yeah.
it differently and stuff like that. Which I think is really like cool and creative. Um, you know, I mean, like at this point, you can always say how you're inspired by your dad. And everything. Being a filmmaker and writer and stuff like that. But you could say it. I don't have to.
Well, sorry, can you say that again?
No.
I was spaced out. I was spaced out. I couldn't really hear you.
Why can you hear me?
No, I was daydreaming.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what autistic people do. They
Yeah.
daydream.
Yeah. Okay, they do.
Yeah.
Well, now I was just trying to say is inspiration. All right. I'll give you one that's not about me and stuff. Stop doing that. I'll give you one that's not about me. Cause you mentioned your mom and stuff like that, telling you that you should go into stand-up comedy and stuff like that. And so, what I remember seeing last year, which was really funny, was that your mom likes to write sketches for her workplace. Like they do like annual Christmas show, doesn't she?
Oh yeah. And I've been involved in 2 of them.
Yeah, and especially this most recent one, where you and her did a sketch and everything, and
Yeah, do you want me to explain it?
I guess I could call it like the Kermit sketch.
Well, yeah, do you want me to explain it? Basically, well, actually, I can't explain it. I don't really know what was going on, but it involved me doing a Kermit the Frog voice.
Yeah.
What?
That was my Kermit the Frog voice.
Well, go on.
No, you should do it.
That's a Swedish chef voice.
Whatever. Okay.
It's not.
Whatever. Criticize. Why don't you?
If I was Simon Cowell, it would be a no from me.
It would be okay. Yeah. Well, all right. You talk about it. It was funny.
Well, I talk about it.
No, you talk about the sketch.
Oh,
it was funny.
Yeah. So it was like, I don't know. It was like a job interview. Something like that, and then it was just kind of like it's like she wrote it all, and it was just like the main point was that I'm wearing like a green Kermit the Frog voice. Yeah. I'm wearing a green Kermit the Frog shirt, yeah. and I'm talking exactly like Kermit the Frog with all the mannerisms.
You're saying how not easy being green and all that.
Yeah, not easy. It's not easy being green.
Yeah, and everything. But I again like. Did you ad-lib in that, or did you just follow the script?
No, I mean, I think the only ad-libbing, and it's an important thing for every future comedian, every future funny person, is that you have to stop talking when people are laughing, because otherwise, people are laughing and you're still talking, they can't hear your other funny bits.
Yeah.
So then it's like you have to kind of
give space.
Yeah, it's like I like to call it. I'm gonna pretend I've invented this.
Okay.
It's called talking in rhythm. It's basically like when you talk, you don't talk like a normal person would. You like talk in a rhythm, and it's good for comedic timing. Sometimes, yeah.
Learn something new every day. Yeah, I'm always open to it, as I keep saying.
Yeah, well, in your case, you learn like 5 things new every day. You learn 5 new things every day.
Don't laugh, Justin. You're only trying to encourage you and stuff. Right. So anyway, back to me. It's like, any source of inspiration in there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. What did that be?
Yeah.
Goes back to my stone face.
Yeah. So for life, my brother, my oldest brother, he helped me how to learn. He helped me how to write like poetry.
Because he's a writer himself, actually.
Well, yeah, he's a writer. He's not a poet. He will make it a big deal. If someone said, "Are you a poet?" he will say, "Not a poet, not a DJ." But he's like a storyteller. He's a story writer, but he speaks in performs in a spoken word sense. And his name is PJ, but his stage name is Roy. no surname for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, he taught me how. So every time I write like a spoken word stuff, a spoken word poem, I'll always like I'll send it to him, and then he'll be like, it's good, and then he will like he's somewhat kind of taught me how to deal with stage presence. But he's always like the guy who like if he says he likes something, then that means I'm validated. So that means I'm like yes. And then and his fiance is also a poet, Toria Garbut. I think she's in a band now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't know. You haven't hid it from me. Actually, I shouldn't be saying this information. I don't think. Well,
Yeah.
whatever. Oh yeah, and then in a comedian sense, why are you smiling at me like that?
I'm
In
not
a
actually smiling. I'm waiting.
in the comedian sense, I don't know what you're waiting for. In the comedian sense, James Acaster. He's one of the funniest people. Have you heard of James Acaster?
No, I have not.
Have you heard of James Acaster?
Why would she? Okay.
Everyone, James Acaster.
Okay.
James
but-
Acaster is a very, very funny person. He's appeared on like every TV show. He's also a stand-up. He's also a stand-up comic.
Oh wow. Cool.
He's kind of like a character. I feel like a lot of the elements of the way I talk is very much inspired by him.
Really?
Yeah.
So he inspires your persona.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few other people that did that. But those are mainly YouTubers. But in a mainstream sense, James Acaster is, in a mainstream sense, a main inspiration, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know who to blame. All right. Cool.
Who to blame for what?
Whatever. Persona. I just said. What are you looking for? Yeah. So anyway, back to the improvisation. As you wanted to point out to me the difference between improvisation and stand-up comedy, as if I didn't know for myself. But
Oh, go on. What do you think? What do you think? I'm the interviewer now.
what do I think? Is
Hello,
the
guys.
difference-
Welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. That's what it
do-
says on the sign.
What do I think is the difference between improv and stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, stand-up comedy or a comic is a person who's telling jokes, who has a shtick, who has a set that they are delivering, whereas an improv is made up. So it's kind of like you either give them a line or a reference or music, image, whatever, and stuff like that, and then they have to create on the spot, the comedy that hopefully will be funny from them doing that. Am I close?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with improv, it's like you two or more people, they create a scene, and they get given a prompt, and then they just kind of go from there.
Yeah.
But there's loads of different improv games.
Yeah. Well, I remember how you were like mad on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh yeah,
mean,
I love that
think
show.
you've seen everyone. How many years has that been on?
It's been on since the 80s in the UK. Started in the UK, went to the US in the 90s, then it stopped
Whoa.
in the yeah, Drew Carey.
Yeah, I know, but the 80s? Wow.
Well, no, the 80s was in the UK with Clive Anderson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that didn't have like Ryan Stiles and all that stuff yet.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
Like it's like they were just like it's like they would just be like random guests at that point.
Yeah, I don't think I picked up on it until Drew Carey because
Yeah.
he had the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, well, you're American, so we all know why.
Thanks for acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And everything. I always wondered because people often ask me, what kind of accent do you think you have?
Well, so basically, I've always asked people this. I've always asked people, do I sound British, right? And they say yes, because
I don't think so.
Okay, but what you're getting confused is that I don't speak in like a Scouse manner. No. I speak in a British manner. I can hear myself talking right now.
Yeah.
That's how ears work. And it sounds more British to me. But I think when I was young it was different because of the selective mutism the fact that I'd watch a lot of American shows, and the fact that I would spend almost every waking moment in my life talking to you. So,
Was that a bad thing?
is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Well,
Who are you asking? I'm asking you.
I'm addressing the camera. That's what I've been doing the entire time.
I don't know. I spent maybe about like 10 minutes fishing for a compliment, haven't I, Jess? Do you think I got one? No.
Just take it.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Oh, yeah,
What,
so-
what do you think? Do you think Jesse sounds American or British?
More British.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah,
Really?
like he's not Scouse. If I didn't know him, I'd think he was from somewhere posh.
Wow. Posh boy.
Yes, I'm a very posh guy. Yes.
I don't know why.
I'm a tech.
Okay. Anyway, so basically, this show that you had just performed in, at the Royal Court, that
Studio room. Yeah, I'm not correcting you. I'm just addressing the audience. I'm just.
Royal Court Studio.
It wasn't the big room. I'm not that big of a deal
You are though.
yet.
You are though. But anyway, so this was like your third performance, as you noted. So like, would you say that you're moving more towards doing stand up as a career, or is it still just a lark?
I want to eventually. There's a few barriers. There's a few things that I need to figure out first, like what I actually want to do, because there's so many things I want to do. But yeah, it's more so just kind of in waiting for future opportunities this year, and then maybe next year I'll crack it down. Sorry, my mind was telling me to say something, and then I was like, I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
It's not
Well,
appropriate for the.
I mean, because
community
basically,
podcast.
as a creative young man, like you know, as I said, you have fantastic writing ability because you've written many stories and stuff like that. But then there's also like the filmmaking side where you have made your own films and stuff like that. As I said, you can see examples of that on your YouTube channel and stuff. And now you're doing spoken word as well as acting as well as stand up comedy. So it's many different roads you can go down. So which one do you think you want to gravitate more towards? That's what I'm trying to think.
It's either stand up or voice acting, but the problem is, and this is going to be an analogy moment. So the
Analogy
problem
moment.
is, the ocean, how vast the ocean is. There's loads of fish in the ocean. All the fish, they look the exact same, and all they do is just swim around and they eat stuff. And so basically, if I wanted to be, well, I was gonna say shit, but now it's like I
Okay,
can't. Okay. So basically, yeah. So there's too many comedians and there's too many voice actors. So it's a matter of figuring out how I'm gonna stand out, how I'm gonna be the fish that stands out. Maybe I'll have an extra scale. Maybe I'll have one taller fin. Maybe I'll have bigger lips. That's
Maybe
what fish
you be the
has.
fish that saved Pittsburgh.
No one's gonna laugh at that.
I know it's a movie reference.
No one's gonna laugh at that.
It's an old one. It might be an old person watching. Never know.
So anyway, next question. Wait, can I ask you a question?
Oh, please do. And don't ask me if the earth is flat. What are you looking at?
Snipers.
Cypress?
Snipers.
Oh, snipers.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your question?
I'm just trying to figure out how much chaos I can create. How much chaos I can ensue.
Just want to know why you want to, but that's okay.
Take the
What? What?
Take the hat off.
I will not. I'm like Kevin Smith. There's a reason why we wear.
Oh.
Or Kevin Feige. There's a reason why we wear hats.
I might meet Kevin Smith.
You might meet him.
Yeah.
Why is he coming to England?
He's a Liverpool Comic Con.
Oh really?
Yeah.
When's that?
May 4th and 5th.
Oh, May the 4th be with you. Star Wars.
No one's gonna laugh at that.
Just it. But it's Star Wars,
No.
bro. May the
Only
4th
one person laughed at that.
Okay. They're not all here. So I just said it's Star Wars. But anyway, is he coming to Liverpool for that?
Yeah, Liverpool Comic Con.
The one that's over there at the Exhibition Center? The MCM or? You know the one that's down at the Echo? Down there.
Sure.
Right. Okay. You plan on attending? Is that what it is?
Yeah, maybe. I'll get a ticket tonight. And I'll figure out who's going.
What,
And
you
I'll
mean you're
just...
not taking your dad with you?
Next question, please. Take the hat off.
I will not. So, like, the thing about it is, there is actually love in the room. One-sided love. Unrequited love. You know, maybe I'm used to that. But, like, the thing...
That's cap.
What?
What? What? It's
Anyway.
internet slang.
So, I guess we're coming down to the end of this.
Hang on. There wasn't a good segue into this.
It wasn't.
So when I was at the comedy course, when I did the stand-up comedy, it was a 5-week course, and I took notes. Basically, for context, my main comedy routine, it was about my hatred of Uber drivers, because I don't like them, but I still get Uber drivers anyway, because I'm a corporate shill. So I wrote down notes. I'm going to read those notes. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Take the hat off.
Stop touching my hat, bro.
All right. So basically, pick at those moments from stories and dig deeper. And this next one is basically a joke suggestion. I used the sunglasses emoji, no matter what the weather. And then I said, he should eat a drumstick lollipop, stuff it in his mouth. And then I said, ask audience what their Uber score is. Then
I remember this one.
Then I said, snake wrestling equals... Actually, I can't say that.
No.
Then I say, pause between jokes so the audience knows when to laugh. Don't talk too fast. Walkie, no talkie. AI, autistic intelligence. Don't be aggressive. It was because there was one joke where I said there was one joke where I kind of threatened to stuff I threatened to stuff a drumstick lollipop inside the mouth of an Uber driver, and the guy didn't like that joke, and he was like, "Don't be aggressive," and then he said, "Jaqson, like I see you as like you're a sweet guy," and I'm like, I can't imagine you like do it like saying that. So so then I said, I'm apparently sweet, so that's my persona. I'm a sweet guy. Then I said, and then I wrote, talk slow to get the bits. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I wrote that, but I did. Talk slow to get the bits.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, I guess talk slow so that people know what you're talking about, which is like rhythmic speaking, which is something that I like doing. And then the last one is, can you guess what it is?
No.
Insult the audience.
Is that when you called the woman a dumbass?
I did not say that.
You did. And
did not.
She had the audacity to heckle you and not laugh at a joke, and you called her a dumbass.
I didn't say dumbass. I called her a jackass.
Same thing. Man.
It's not.
All right.
No, okay. So basically, all right. I got heckled. There was an audience interaction where I was like, "Put your hands up if you know what your Uber rating is." No one did. So I was like, "Okay, you are all assholes." So then I explained the joke, and then this drunk woman was who was at the front row. She was like, "My Uber score's a 4.3," and then I'm just kind of like standing there stunned, and then everyone else is kind of murmuring to each other, and I point at her and I say, "Jackass," and then it goes in a whole routine, and then I say, "All right, what's your name?" And then she's like, "Mark," and I see Mark sitting next to it, being like, "No, don't do that." And then she was like, she said their actual name. Can't remember what it is. I think it was Jill. And then I said, "All right, Jill, how old are you?" And then she said, 21. And then I'm just kind of like, no. So I'm just like standing there. I'm just like, I think I said, I said bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like bullshit. And then yeah, I kept my composure. Apparently, I don't mean to start I don't mean to spread drama, but apparently a guy was signaling to get security. So they might have took it out if it. So they might have took her out in the back if it escalated.
Yeah. But it was an interesting part of the show.
But when the show finished, she came up to me and
She thanked you.
yeah, and she thanked me and she was like, "Oh, Jaqson, like you should do more of this." Now put it in your perspective, right? Imagine if a hitman tells you to go outside with a bullseye on your head. It's like, see, it's the same difference.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want a heckler telling me to do more of it. It's like, what? She's going to be in the next one. She's going to be there. Drunk again. Corona beer.
Yeah, but the whole team came out to her and said, "I don't know how you can actually try and go one-on-one with a guy who told you he was socially awkward in the first place."
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I didn't appreciate that joke.
Yeah, well, no. Well,
Yeah, I don't want people standing up for me.
No, you didn't know.
I can stand up for myself. That's why it's called stand-up comedy.
Okay, that's a new terminology for it then. And stuff. But no, so basically, work in progress and stuff. I mean, did you enjoy the night? Did you think it went well?
Yeah, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had 2 days to recuperate. Still processing the fact that it's over. 6 weeks of my life, 6 weeks of my life, just constantly memorizing, constantly rewriting this 10-minute set. Glad it's over. I can do other stuff.
But I think what's great is that like you're attempting now to actually pass on what you've learned and develop to other people, younger people like.
Oh yeah, that's in an improv standpoint.
I was going to say that before I was interrupted, but yeah.
Take the hat off.
What is it with you and the hat, bro?
Wait, is he bald on there?
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I'm not full on bald.
It's
but I got a mullet that I'm training.
It's a whole horror movie.
What?
It's a whole horror movie under there. I think it'd be funny.
No, it's not. But you know what?
That's how you get views.
What's interesting is my hair is naturally straight and curly, and stuff like that. So it's like it's not like his where it's a big crown and stuff like that. So it's funny. So anyway, I'm trying to end this show. So like with that being said, is that you're looking into like possibly doing some improvisation or teaching yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. Actually, like tonight, I'm at an improv course. I joined a different one. Yeah, so
I thought you said you weren't going to do it for a while.
No, well, that's different because that was sometimes on Mondays it's dropping. I should mention what it is. Liverpool search go on Facebook. I know, right? Facebook. Go on Facebook, search in Liverpool Improv Comedy. It'll bring you to a Facebook page. They do sessions in the Arts Bar. I think it's 18 plus because it's the Arts Bar. But yeah, they're fun. It's very welcoming for all people. You don't have to know shit about improv. You can just do it, and it's all just making stuff up, having a laugh, but then you learn. Then there's that underlying thing of like when you're doing improv, you're learning how to listen to people. Like you're practicing your listening skills. It boosts your sense of confidence. You're not really there to be funny. It's just that the jokes, all of the comedy just happens naturally based on how wacky or obscene the scene is.
Yeah. How you react to things.
Like your reaction, you're just like the first thing that pops into your head, you do it. A lot of clapping like that. And yeah.
So that's on Monday nights.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Monday nights. Monday night drop-ins. It's like £14. So like to book it.
Wow, 14 pounds. Oh.
Or £12.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool and stuff. So basically, you're gonna be doing that. You're gonna be doing more the 20 Stories High. You got a summer show coming up, right?
Yep, summer show. It's about. Actually, I don't think I can reveal what it's about. But basically, it's a hint, right? There's a lot of time travel. It's a lot of time traveling shenanigans.
Ooh, time travel.
TT.
Yeah, well, you're a big fan of Doctor Who, as I see from your TARDIS on your arm.
Oh yeah, I've got a TARDIS on my arm.
Just in case you
tattoo.
didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Doctor Who. What's your favorite Doctor?
It's always been like a cross between Matt Smith and David
Just say it. Just say it. Right.
Matt Smith.
Okay. So you had to do.
Well,
I ask a question.
I do like David Tennant though.
Yeah, so does everyone else. Now try and have your own unique opinion for once in your life.
Who do you like?
Hey, look at me, yum cheese. I'm gonna go on YouTube and I'm gonna Google. Oh, what the hell? This guy says the Earth is flat. Oh, that must be true then. Oh yeah. Oh, the moon landing is fake. Oh, whoa. My brain's opened. Oh, the sun, it rotates like this. What? Wow.
It does rotate like this, bro. Stop yourself. I could tell you so many things of why it's not true, but then I won't. That's not that kind of show.
YouTube channel is called Misinformation James.
Misinformation James. Okay, no. All right, so that shows you how we're coming to an end of this.
Sorry, just one more question. If you take off the cap, do you know what's underneath it? A tinfoil hat.
Hair.
A tinfoil hat.
Oh, tinfoil. Oh,
Yeah.
Tinfoil Harry. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Who's Harry?
Tinfoil Harry. Never heard. Anyway,
No one's gonna laugh at that.
you know what? Good thing I'm not the comedian on this show. And people were saying there was a comedian on. So either way, you know, I thought this would be a cool idea. Father interviewing son talking to dad, being nice, whatever. Who cares? That's life. So, but I did enjoy this though, buddy. You know what I mean, like that. You know, and I look forward to seeing where you go next. I think that what people see is a rise of confidence and stuff. Yeah. All right. So I'm your host, Jaqson Lynch. This has been the Liverpool Community Podcast. And yeah, we out of here.